development of a protocol where like citizen scientists could actually like extract endocrine disruptors from their food systems and water systems. Endocrine disruptors being compounds that can bind with estrogen or endocrine receptors and kind of like mimic various compounds. So what we're focused on right now is estrogen. The reason we're focused on so much on estrogen is it's been going on for a long time, but there was a huge moment in about 2011 when Newsweek ran an article about like, and I'm going to use this phrase with full knowledge of like its difficulty and baggage around it, but intersex frogs, and intersex frogs being the result of hormonal birth control, women taking them, urinating, and that passing into like water systems. This is not the case whatsoever. Like that is such a minute portion of what actually like causes endocrine disrupting compounds to like proliferate our food system. It makes up like 0.01% of like the entirety. What it really is like atrazine, for instance, which is a really commercially available and super common herbicide that's used on corn, sorghum, all sorts of places like that. In fracking, a lot of the things that they inject into the wells to actually like extract natural gas, immense sources of endocrine disrupting compounds, especially estrogenic compounds. So this like sex panic that frogs were turning female because of women taking birth control and passing it through was just more like kind of an apparatus of control, you know. And we found this like obviously profoundly troubling, as I'm sure everybody in this room. So what we wanted to do is develop a system that people could actually like extract endocrine disruptors from their food and water system. So we came up with an Epicurean endocrinology. So what we're working on right now is developing this like almost a Blue Apron style food box system where we send you all the tools to actually extract endocrine disruptors from food and water sources. We also send you recipe cards and some foods to test and also make molecular gastronomy recipes using these foods. So if you want to think about it as like this very speculative and totally not like working like kind of like active biotechnical resistance, and that like maybe you could make these like highly endocrine disruptor rich foods, and you could actually like alter your own like body by doing this. Of course, that's not practical. The reason why we do it, I'll get to the reason at the end. So this is what the cooking sex Epicurean endocrinology cooking sex lab actually looks like. So it's a hybrid kitchen lab space where we have set up all the tools and technologies to do the solid phase extraction protocol to pull these endocrine disruptors out of your food. And then we use something called the ELISA assay back in our lab to actually find out like the concentration in that has like come from people's food. So you'll be able to send your sample back to us. We'll test it and give you data on like exactly what was in it. So this is what it looks like set up with the ads and everything in it and all the tools and technologies. The micropipette, by the way, is just for show because it looks cool. We don't actually really use it. We use it sometimes on the assay, but you know, we gotta like play the part of this is just like so just so you know. 3 minutes. Okay. So this is set up at my like home gallery, just so that I could like hopefully, or Liz and I could hopefully get shows with it. So this is like the first iteration. There's now 4 of these labs in various places. There's a mini one back here actually in Genspace. There'll be another one in Flux Factory later this month, and if you want to do a workshop with us, that show will be opening. And on the 23rd of June, we'll actually be doing endocrine disruptor workshop extraction lab here at Genspace. Yeah. So thanks for having me. So this is us testing pickled dilly corn. I live like way out in the country in the middle of like real America, as lots of people like to put it. So we test a lot of things that we find like in that region because there's like in this kind of like middle American. I live almost on the like New England side of things, debatably, but whatever. We're fascinated by this like idea of middle America and middle America being obsessed with like profitability and like high production of like corn and whatever. So they're using these endocrine disrupting compounds like atrazine to promote crop growth, which stands like diametrically opposed to their value system, like on the far right in terms of like, and I'm going to use this very carefully again, like intersex as Newsweek would put it, people that don't conform to their like gendered norms. So we find that like profoundly fascinating, right? That they're making like this proliferate like our food and water systems. So these are a couple of projects that we've done, some of the recipes that we're doing aren't molecular gastronomy recipes, but these are like feminizing and masculinizing meals that Liz put on in Prairie Gardens in Adirondacks, which were really great. We'll use some of these recipes actually in our food box system once we get it up and running. So again, this is like our play mad scientist with your food, which is kind of fun. So this is the little syringe and the solid phase extraction cartridge, called C18 cartridge that you use. We also developed, Mary and I a few years ago, a column chromatography method where you can actually use roll your own cigarette filters and actually extract endocrine disruptors using that, which is a really interesting process. This is what our recipe cards and the solid phase extraction protocol card look like. You can grab one back there if you're at all interested. This is the current setup at Mocha Tucson. We just did a series of workshops and set up a thing put on by a wonderful curator named Alex Young. The show is called Groping in the Dark, which Mary is also in, and I highly recommend it if you get a chance to look into it. Oh, that's interesting. That's not me. So the point of my work, this is the last thing. That's my fault. The point of the work, a lot of times people our big worry is that people get their hopes up, that we can create these make your DIY, these DIY hormone therapy or birth control, and that they're going to be able to use these as an emancipatory technology. That's not the point though necessarily. The point is to say, why the fuck should some goofy artists have to come up with these biotechnical pieces of resistance? Why isn't this just available? And so that's the larger point of both these projects, and that's kind of what we're aiming for. So with that, I'll end. Thank you very much.